It's Tuesday, November 1st, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including that a man has died after being struck by a van in Wilton last week. Several people were revived using Narcan in West Haven, and Fairfield officials are looking for the owners of a lost dog and much more. Frank Granito will have a look at the forecast and a Nutmeg Sports update, and Donald Lang joins us later to take a look back on this day in history. But first, a Ridgefield man who was struck by a van in downtown Wilton on October 27th died on Sunday, according to Wilton police. 75-year-old Francis Cullen died as a result of his injuries at Norwalk Hospital from the accident he suffered while walking in the common driveway between Scoops and the Village Market. The investigation is currently open and no charges are pending, according to Lieutenant Stephen Brennan, a spokesman for the department. And according to Hearst, Connecticut media, 5 unconscious people with drug overdose symptoms were revived with Narcan by West Haven police and firefighters early Monday morning. At 12:03 in the morning, West Haven police and firefighters responded to an Elm Street address to find 3 people unconscious. 2 were in a vehicle and 1 was inside Dunkin' Donuts. Paramedics successfully administered Narcan. Once conscious, the people told police that they had ingested what they thought was Xanax at a house party. Then at 2:30 in the morning, police and paramedics responded to a Brown Street address for what was reported to be a motor vehicle accident. Instead, police quickly learned it was 2 people unconscious in a vehicle. Again, paramedics revived them with Narcan. Both claimed to have purchased heroin in New Haven. Detectives are continuing investigations in both cases. Once revived, the 5 people were sent to the hospital for observation. And a Stratford man was arrested on a warrant in Milford Sunday for allegedly taking a photo up a woman's dress without her knowledge. 32-year-old Joseph Matthews of Nichols Terrace allegedly used his cell phone to take the photo while he was employed at a Boston Post Road business. Matthews was charged with voyeurism and released on a promise to appear in court on November 22nd. And for the second time, employees at Mini Cooper of Fairfield County in Darien found a vehicle stripped of its rims and tires on the dealership lot. A total of 3 cars showed signs of tampering on the morning of October 25th, one of which was a 2011 Mini Cooper that was left partially resting on a jack with no tires attached. A lug nut and tire iron were found near the 2 other vehicles. The 4 missing tires and rims were valued at $2,500. Darien detectives are still investigating the case, which follows a similar incident that happened at the dealership on October 15th. And today, November 1st, is the last day to register to vote online or in person in Connecticut. Voters who want to register by mail must have their registration cards postmarked no later than this date. After today, the only remaining time to register will be on Election Day, November 8th. However, lines are expected to be long. For more information about registering to vote, you can go to myvote.ct.gov. And Governor Daniel Malloy announced last week the issuance of the state's first ever drought watch and is advising residents to be mindful of their water consumption and to limit unnecessary water usage when possible. Malloy said that after 3 years of precipitation shortfalls, we are moving to a drought watch, and it would be extremely helpful if residents could be mindful of their consumption and take sensible steps to help stretch the water supply. That drought watch applies to counties in western and central Connecticut, including Fairfield, Hartford, Litchfield, Middlesex, New Haven, and Tolland counties. The Interagency Drought Work Group is requesting residents, businesses, and local governments to voluntarily reduce their water use by about 15%. The previously announced drought advisory that went into effect statewide in June will remain for New London and Windham counties, where they are asking people to reduce usage by about 10%. The governor has directed the Connecticut Department of Administrative Services to review and implement water usage among state government facilities to be reduced where possible. And Fairfield Animal Control is asking for the public's help finding the owner of this dog. The female golden retriever was picked up on Saturday, October 22nd from Corita Street in Fairfield and was impounded at the shelter. She had no collar, ID tags, or microchip. She was wearing a pink harness, but that also had no tags attached. She is described as very friendly and gentle with everyone. That well-behaved dog, as you can see, did get a special Halloween treat. Animal Control is working to get the word out, and they'll be holding her for a bit longer to give the owner a chance of finding her. If you know who that dog belongs to, you can contact Fairfield Animal Control. But let's throw it over to Frank Granito now for a look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. A bit warmer compared to yesterday with an expected high of 58 degrees. Clear skies throughout the morning will make way for some afternoon cloud cover and light winds. Mostly cloudy overnight with temperatures staying in the 50s as we head towards a beautiful Wednesday throughout Fairfield County. We'll see temperatures jump back into the 60s on Wednesday with an expected high of 66. Partly sunny skies tomorrow with a light breeze, and then mostly cloudy tomorrow night and very humid with temperatures in the upper 50s as cloud cover will increase heading into Thursday morning. Thursday will be the warmest day of the week with temperatures reaching as high as 70 degrees during the day. There are a couple of afternoon showers and a heavy thunderstorm expected. Otherwise, thickening clouds and warm all day long. Showers are expected to continue through the evening with a chance of another thunderstorm later on before clearing up overnight and heading into Friday morning. That's going to do it for this weather update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to step out for a break. When we come back, Donald Eng takes a look back on this day in history. Frank has a Nutmeg Sports update, and we have some more local news after this. Have a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Hi, this is Leo Carl from Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan. And you've heard me talk about the Chevy Volt for years. The new model gets 53 miles on EV charge daily, plus 420-mile full range. But don't take my word for it. You need to come in and test drive the Volt yourself. Visit us at 261 Elm Street in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
As you're getting back to your regular schedules, we're excited to get back to doing what we do best, offering you the freshest seasonal fare and all the ingredients for a healthy start to school. So shop Walter Stewart's for everything fresh, from A, apples to Z, zucchini, and from cotton candy grapes to back to nature all-natural snack bags. We save you time by stocking all of your favorite back-to-school essentials under one roof. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com. At Whip Blow Dry Bar and Salon of Ridgefield, it's all about creating a hassle-free, high-end experience for the entire family. Open 7 days a week, the makeup and hairstyle salon on Governor Street has it all. From color services, men's haircuts with a complimentary microbrew, affordable kids cuts, and more. And our blowout package includes a shampoo, scalp massage, blowout of your choice, and a lipstick application done by a celebrity makeup artist. Download the Whip Salon app to view the styles and book appointments. Get more information at whipsalon.com, 203-442-6444, or find Whip on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
On time, done right, safe and reliable. MrHandymanCT.com.
Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
MrHandymanCT.com.
On Election Day in Connecticut, the HAN network has you covered with real-time results and analysis.
Will your town vote for Trump or for Clinton?
And who will be representing you in Hartford and in Washington, D.C.? HAN's news reporters and editors will be out in the field talking to the candidates, collecting results, and we'll be breaking it all down on air with live local analysis you won't find anywhere else.
Watch Connecticut Election Night 2016 live starting at 8 p.m. on HAN.network.
We're back on this November 1st edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network, and it's time to take a look back on this day in history with Donald Eng. Don.
Well, Kate, we go with a little religious history and some art today, starting in 1512 with the dedication of the Sistine Chapel ceiling, painted by Michelangelo, exhibited for the first time. Now, the ceiling includes dozens of panels, of which the creation of Adam is the most well-known and highly regarded. You can see it there, basically in the center. Artistically, second perhaps only to the Mona Lisa for the Sistine Chapel, although obviously those panels are enormous, much larger than they look there in the photo. Speaking of photos, 1941, American photographer Ansel Adams shoots this memorable moonrise over the town of Hernandez, New Mexico. It would become one of the most famous images in the history of film photography. Taken from the shoulder of U.S. Highway 84, it proved so popular, Adams made 1,300 prints during his lifetime, one of which sold at a Sotheby's auction for $600,000. To 1950, Pope Pius XII claims papal infallibility when he formally defines the dogma of the Assumption. That is, that Mary was bodily lifted into heaven, so don't bother looking for the grave. Papal infallibility is commonly misunderstood. It is exceedingly rare, but just how rare, no one really knows. It has been invoked at least twice, both by popes named Pius and both involving Mary, perhaps as many as 11 times, though various sources disagree on which papal teachings were in fact infallible. Ironically, the Pope's judgment on papal infallibility usage is not infallible. Finally, now we go to 1951 in Nevada for this. This is Operation Buster Jangle. 6,500 American soldiers subjected to a nuclear test. If this were not a silent film, you would just about now be hearing a tremendous explosion. The soldiers and other test subjects each received radiation exposure equal to as many as 600 chest x-rays. In case you're wondering, did they suffer long-term health effects? Many of them unfortunately did. As part of the test, they were ordered to stand up from their trenches, as you see there, and then walk towards the explosion. So that is Operation Buster Jangle there. On this date in history, November 1st, 1951. That is your historical look back for today, and I'm Donald Eng.
All right, thanks so much, Don. In other news today, the Stamford Advocate reports that Marriott International plans to lay off 163 Stamford-based employees at the turn of the year, a move that would represent the first round of local downsizing following its September acquisition of Starwood's hotels and resorts worldwide. The layoffs mostly affect senior positions such as vice president, director, and other managerial posts. The cuts would take place between December 31st and January 13th, according to city and state records. Marriott completed in September its approximately $13 billion acquisition of Stamford-based Starwood, a union that created the largest hotel company in the world. But the absorption of Starwood into Marriott meant that Starwood's home at One Star Point in the city's South End would no longer operate as a corporate headquarters because Marriott is based in Bethesda, Maryland. Well, let's throw it back over to Frank Granito now for a Nutmeg Sports update. Frank.
Thank you again, Kate. The boys cross country first team all FCAC runners were announced yesterday, and leading the ways for the boys was the individual FCAC champion Zach Ahmad from Staples. The rest of the all-conference runners included Will Brisman of Fairfield Ward, Terrell Cunningham of Danbury, Christian Myers from Staples, Benjamin Seipel from Staples, Charlie Tauble from Trumbull, Bradford DeMassa from Ridgefield, Alex Clarer from Darien, Bradley Fox of Danbury, Sunil Green from Staples, James Johnson of Darien, James Maniscalco from Fairfield Ward, and Tyler Granja and Dan Nichols, both from Danbury. So congratulations to all 14 of the first team All-FCAC runners for 2016. And don't forget that the HAN Network will have live coverage of both the boys soccer and girls field hockey semifinals this afternoon from Fairfield Ludlow High School and Wilton High School. In the first soccer semifinal at 5 p.m., it will be the number 2 seed Greenwich Cardinals and the number 3 seed Danbury Hatters, followed by number 1 Greenwich and number 5 Fairfield Ward at 7 p.m. For the field hockey semifinals, game 1 will be at 6 p.m. from Wilton High School. It will be between number 1 seed Wilton and number 4 seed Norwalk, followed by game 2 at 7:30 between number 3 Darien and number 2 Staples. Both field hockey games can be seen live at wiltonbulletin.com and at darientimes.com. And for a full recap on all of Tuesday's playoff action, tune into Nutmeg Sports tomorrow at 2 o'clock. That's going to do it for this Nutmeg Sports update, though. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, the New Canaan Historical Society announced today that Executive Director Janet Lindstrom will retire after 34 years of service. Lindstrom said, "I've played a special part of the Society's 127-year continuum, preserving the history of this exceptional place and helping generations of people to explore what makes our community so special." A longtime resident of New Canaan, Lindstrom began her career at the Historical Society as a volunteer and went on to join the Board of Governors in 1981. She served as board president in 1983 until she was named executive director in 1985. Some notable achievements during her tenure include the revival of the biennial Modern House Day Tour and establishing the town's beloved tradition, the old-fashioned ice cream social held each year on the Great Lawn of the Historical Society. Lindstrom was a crusader for preservation, and under her leadership, the Society was instrumental in protecting and preserving the Little Red Schoolhouse on Carter Street, as well as the Gores Pavilion in Irwin Park. But you can get more on that at ncadvertiser.com. And Halloween is over, but Emmy-nominated host of New England Legends on PBS, GhostVillage.com founder, and the Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures writer will offer an evening of true ghost stories, research, and evidence from around the world. Jeff Belanger will explore the unexplained with a multimedia lecture, Q&A, and book signing at the Trumbull Library. That's located on 33 Quality Street on Wednesday, November 9th at 6:30 in the evening. He's interviewed thousands of eyewitnesses to paranormal occurrences and written for newspapers like the Boston Globe and USA Today. You can get more on that event at TrumbleTimes.com. We're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap the top stories we're following today on your coffee break after this.
This is now 44 years I've been in this business. Digital came along. After I was in business for about 6 years, I had to totally reinvent the business. So I had to make a tremendous investment in my business. And Milford Bank was there for me. I don't really just consider Milford Bank a bank. I consider them a trusted partner in my business. My name is Jim Wilson, owner of Milford Photo. I choose to bank with Milford Bank.
The leaves are changing, water temps dropping, and the sun is setting a little earlier each day. But there's still a lot of great boating, fishing, and coast time left before we see the first snow. And above all, remember, it's always summer at the Dock Shop. With loads of new fishing tackle and accessories, clothing, jewelry, and home decor, the Dock Shop is just what you need when you start to feel that New England autumn chill. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. New Canaan is 6 minutes down the road. New Canaan's a beautiful little town to walk around. I work in Westport. My commute is 20 minutes. It's close to Westchester, where my family is, so the location is ideal. There is no other townhome that compares in the area. This is where I want to be.
This fall, explore the beautiful landscape enhanced by the architectural design and art at the Philip Johnson Glass House in New Canaan. Open for the season now through November 30th, the Glass House is a National Trust historic site that sits on 49 acres of pastoral landscape, comprised of 14 total structures, and a permanent collection of 20th century painting and sculpture, as well as temporary exhibitions. Tours are available on Sunday, Monday, and Thursdays through Saturdays. Advance reservations are recommended. Visit theglasshouse.org for more information and to get your tickets.
I'm Frank Granito.
And I'm Donald Ng for the HAN Network.
Tune in to Nutmeg Sports Monday through Thursday, where we bring you all the top stories from Connecticut sports.
From highlights to player interviews and expert analysis, no one gets you closer to Connecticut's games than Nutmeg Sports.
Nutmeg Sports, now Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. on the HAN Network.
We're back on this Tuesday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top local stories that we're following today, including that a Ridgefield man who was struck by a van in downtown Wilton on October 27th died Sunday, according to Wilton police. 75-year-old Francis Cullen died as a result of his injuries at Norwalk Hospital from the accident he suffered while walking in the common driveway between Scoops and the Village Market in Wilton. The investigation is currently open and no charges are pending, according to police. And according to Hearst, Connecticut media, 5 unconscious people with drug overdose symptoms were revived with Narcan by West Haven police and firefighters Monday morning. At about 12 in the morning, West Haven police and firefighters responded to an Elm Street address to find 3 people unconscious. 2 were in a vehicle and 1 was inside a Dunkin' Donuts. Fire department paramedics successfully administered Narcan. Once conscious, the people told police that they had ingested what they thought was Xanax at a house party. Then at around 2:30 in the morning, police and paramedics responded to a Brown Street address for what was reported to be a motor vehicle accident. Instead, police quickly learned that it was 2 people unconscious in a car. Again, paramedics were able to revive them with Narcan. Both claimed to have purchased heroin in New Haven. Detectives are continuing investigations in both cases. Once revived, those 5 people were sent to the hospital for observation. And a Stratford man was arrested on a warrant in Milford Sunday for allegedly taking a photo up a woman's dress without her knowledge. 32-year-old Joseph Matthews of Nichols Terrace allegedly used his cell phone to take the photo while he was working at a Boston Post Road business. Matthews was charged with voyeurism and released on a promise to appear in court November 22nd. And for the second time, employees at many of Fairfield County and Darien found a vehicle stripped of its rims and tires on the dealership lot. A total of 3 cars showed signs of tampering on the morning of October 25th, one of which was a 2011 Mini Cooper that was left partially resting on a jack with no tires attached. A lug nut and tire iron were found near the 2 other vehicles. Those 4 missing tires and rims were valued at $2,500. Darien detectives are investigating, and this case follows a similar incident that happened at the dealership on October 15th. And today, November 1st, is the last day to register to vote online or in person in Connecticut. Voters who want to register by mail must have their registration cards postmarked no later than today. After today, the only remaining time to register will be on Election Day on November 8th. However, lines are expected to be long. For more information about registering to vote, you can go to myvote.ct.gov. And Governor Daniel Malloy announced last week the issuance of the state's first ever drought watch, and he's advising residents to be mindful of their water consumption and to limit unnecessary water usage. He said after 3 years of precipitation shortfalls, they're moving to a drought watch, and it would be extremely helpful if residents could be mindful of their water consumption. That drought watch applies to counties all around Connecticut, including Fairfield, Hartford, Litchfield, Middlesex, New Haven, and Tolland. The Interagency Drought Work Group is requesting residents, businesses, and local government to voluntarily reduce their water usage by around 15%. The governor has directed the Connecticut Department of Administrative Services to review and implement areas where water usage among state government facilities can be reduced when possible. And Fairfield Animal Control is asking for the public's help finding the owner of this dog. The female golden retriever was picked up on Saturday, October 22nd from Corita Street in Fairfield and was impounded at the shelter. She had no collar, ID tags, or microchip. She was wearing a pink harness, but that also had no tags attached to it. She's described as very friendly and gentle, and they're asking everyone if they can get the word out and if anyone knows who this dog belongs to contact Fairfield Animal Control. And finally, Planning and Zoning Chairman in Trumbull, Fred Garrity, and Trumbull Town Council Minority Leader Mary Beth Thornton presented Bernardino Nieva with just over $4,700 on Sunday, the result of a 2-week GoFundMe campaign that drew donations from about 100 people. Nieva has been in the news recently following a minor bicycle crash with Police Commissioner Roger McGovern. McGovern allegedly demanded that Nieva pay him $2,600 $500, which resulted in a police investigation. When the community learned that he rides his bicycle to work every day because he cannot afford a car, he and his extended family of 10 live in a rented house on Madison Avenue. But check out that video from that check presentation right now.
Hi everybody, we're here with our friend Bernard Nieva, who is the recipient today of Trumbull Cares and a GoFundMe account that was raised in his honor for some of the pressures that he was put under in the last couple months. I met Bernard and he's one of the nicest guys you've ever met, and we learned about his story, how he's helping his nieces and nephews at home, and he's riding his bicycle to work every day. And we did a GoFundMe for him, and because of the generosity of people in Trumbull and the surrounding towns, we were able to give Bernard today $4,702.07. Bernard, this is for you on behalf of the folks from Trumbull, and we hope you use that for whatever you need to help yourself and your family move on. How's that? Pretty good?
It is. It's going to be all going to my family, actually.
Excellent.
Great story there, but you can see more on that at TrumbullTimes.com. Let's throw it over to Frank Granito again for another look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. Again, warmer out today compared to yesterday. An expected high of 58 degrees. Clear skies throughout the morning and some afternoon cloud cover moving in with light winds. Mostly cloudy overnight, but temperatures staying in the 50s before a beautiful Wednesday afternoon in Fairfield County. Temperatures jumping back up into the 60s with an expected high of 66 tomorrow. Light breeze and mostly cloudy throughout the day. Very humid overnight, temperatures in the upper 50s again, and cloud cover will increase heading towards Thursday. Thursday will be the warmest day of the week. Temperatures up around 70 degrees, possibly going over 70. We'll have a couple of afternoon showers and a heavy thunderstorm is expected with thick clouds and very warm all afternoon. Showers could continue through the evening, and there is another chance of a thunderstorm later on before partly cloudy skies overnight heading into Friday morning.
All right, Frank, and it's going to be a really busy afternoon and evening on the HAN network. What do we have coming up?
We have a lot going on, Kate. Obviously, the FCX semifinals starting for girls soccer, boys soccer, and field hockey today. We will have boys soccer and field hockey on the HAN network. The boys soccer games at 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock from Fairfield Ludlow, and the girls field hockey games at 6 and 7:30. Those games can be seen at wiltonbulletin.com and darientimes.com.
All right, awesome. And before that, of course, 12:30, we have The Drive with Denise, 2 o'clock, Nutmeg Sports. But we're going to wrap things up here on your coffee break. We'll see you tomorrow at 11. Have a great day.